Before I even knew what I wanted to freeze dry, I knew I wanted to learn how to use freeze dried ingredients in my normal everyday cooking. And this was one of the very first recipes that I ever wanted to try. So today we're making sweet orange rolls, and we're doing it with freeze dried ingredients as much as possible. To start, we need to rehydrate the milk, raw eggs, orange juice, and orange zest. The milk I already had measured out in a Mylar bag that I knew what was in there would reconstitute to 2 cups. I just added what was in the Mylar bag into a measuring cup and just filled the water up to 2 cups. And as I mixed it and it sunk down a little bit, I'd add a little bit more water until the total came out to 2 cups. With the raw eggs, it's 2 tablespoons of raw egg powder to 2 tablespoons of water equals 1 egg. And we needed 2 eggs for this recipe, so I'm mixing that accordingly. For the orange juice, I needed a full cup of orange juice to use in both the dough and the glaze that goes on top. So I just used 2 tablespoons of orange juice powder and filled up a cup of water. Lastly, the orange zest reconstitutes at a ratio of 1:1, so I did equal parts orange zest powder and equal parts water. Now guys, this one seriously surprised me because this isn't just normal zest that you would get from an orange by grating it off the skin. This is the entire peel freeze-dried and then blended up in a processor, and it turned out tasting just like orange zest. It didn't have any of that bitter pith that I expected. Now that we're done reconstituting all of our freeze-dried ingredients, we've just got a recipe as usual. So we're going to scald some milk, and then I've got my yeast going in with some water to just get it to start activating. And now we're gonna mix all of our ingredients together, starting with the milk, oil, sugar, and salt. Once that's well blended, we'll add the yeast mixture. And at this point, I am so sorry because I did not realize that the camera was blocked by the mixer. So I am now adding in the orange juice, orange zest, and raw egg. Finally, we're going to add in our flour, just 2 cups at a time to get it started, and mix that slowly, adding more as we go. Once all the flour's been added, make sure it mixes up really well, and we're just gonna let it sit and rest for a couple hours and raise till it's doubled in size. Now is the fun part where we get to roll it out. So we're just gonna dump that dough onto a floured surface, add a little more flour on top, mix it up, and then start rolling it out. Now, I learned this recipe from my mother-in-law, and she loves to turn these into knots. I actually prefer to turn them into like croissant looking things because I think there's more surface area for the frosting. So we're gonna do little croissant looking rolls. They've raised again for a little bit longer, and into the oven they go. I also tried putting these in the freezer as raw rolls and then pulling them out when I was ready to bake them. They needed about 2 hours to thaw and raise normally, and then they baked perfectly, just like fresh. Now we're making the glaze, which is all just powdered sugar, orange juice, and orange zest, and we're gonna mix that up until it's nice and smooth. I've tried glazing these a couple different ways, from pouring it on top to just using a brush, but I actually found that dipping these gives them the best look and a really good overall coverage. So I think that's how I'm going to be doing it moving forward, though maybe in a more shallow dish next time. These turned out gorgeous and delicious. You would never be able to tell that they were made out of freeze-dried ingredients, which is exactly how it should be. Don't forget to follow along for more freeze-drying experiments. Thanks for watching.